Hi, welcome. My name is Marlene. Today I wanted to do a movie review, specifically a horror movie, because I love horror movies. I love being scared. There's just something about a good horror movie that I really like. There's a charm about old horror movies that you just don't get nowadays. And we're going to be watching one from 1987. The movie is called Dolls. I'm very fond of this movie. I am afraid of dolls. I still don't like dolls. My parents watched Child's Play when I was a kid. I don't think I was supposed to be watching, but I saw, and ever since then I've been afraid of dolls. I think I only have a couple dolls in the house, but that's because they were gifted, and one I bought, but I don't think he's gonna do any harm to me. This is the only doll that's welcomed in the house right now. But he's special, so, and I think we're cool. I don't think he's gonna harm me. Dolls and clowns, no thank you. My usual genre of horror movie though is gory stuff. I really love gory movies. This one is not too gory, but like I said, there's just something about the charm of these older movies. They don't need too much to have the effect intended. This does have some slightly gory scenes. I'll try to filter them as best as possible, and my clips are going to be a little on the jankier side, but let's get going with the movie. I'm going to be playing with the Bella Butte Bar Vamp palette. I have yet to use it. So let's start the movie.
Oh. Baby, you almost hit them. You like me to go back and try a second time?
So the movie starts when we meet these divas on the side of the road trying to hitchhike, and they're almost hit by a car. I remember being really into their outfits and their styles back when I first saw them. And then we meet this lovely character, this Cruella de Vil looking girl, this queen. Her attitude towards these girls is not pleasant.
Where are we anyway? Thought you were in charge of the maps. Maps? For me?
Who remembers paper maps? I remember my dad having a paper map in his car, and I remember learning how to use a paper map in school, but I never had to use one when I started driving. When I started driving, we had MapQuest, and you would have to pre-print your directions and have a good look at them, because if you missed that one turn, then you wouldn't really have anything to make corrections for that missed turn. And of course, nowadays we have Google Maps and Waze and all that stuff, but what do you remember from when you first started driving? Did you have experience with those paper maps?
And now for the weather. For the weekend, the outlook is the clear skies, with temperatures in the mid-60s. The air conditioners are expected to prevail well into the week. And now, back to why I don't like the look of these clouds up ahead. Maybe we should pull around. Where? A nearby cave?
I love stormy weather.
Oh, God. Well, great. Shit. Couldn't get the rolls, could you? Try it again. Ah, yeah. All right. Damn it. Careful of the mud, dear. Jesus. Daddy, stop swearing. Mom is not nice to swear. The mommy's dead. Oh, Mommy's not here now. Not Judith. Rosemary. That's Mama Rosemary. You're not my mother.
Right, so our main characters have gotten stuck. There's this terrible storm, and now they gotta find shelter. I'm not sure what kind of technology they had back then, so that's the predicament we're stuck in. And we obviously know the dynamics now. Our lovely Cruella de Vil lookalike here is obviously not the best step-parent. Her name is Rosemary, and the guy's name is David, and the little girl is Judy. Poor little Judy is not being treated the best, and they have gotten stuck in the middle of nowhere. They're lost, pretty sure didn't have access to call for help or an emergency tow, so now they have to find shelter in the middle of this storm.
Leave that thing here. Cuddy and I everywhere together. We're best friends. Come on. Not this time, Tootsie. Quit moaning about that toy and get moving. What is holding you two up? Your kid is daydreaming again.
So obviously Rosemary is not very good with children, and we find that Judy has a very overactive imagination. Or does she?
Look at this place.
So the shelter is our typical scary abandoned looking mansion.
Hey, we can get in this way. That's breaking and entering. Who's going to arrest us out here, Count Dracula?
So they see this flapping door in the wind and they think, yeah, let's just help ourselves in.
Huh.
So Judy sees these little glowing eyes in the darkness and we hear small voices.
Much as we love visitors, we do prefer them to use the front door. The front door is locked, and no one answered, and we were awfully wet. Oh, poor dear.
And then we meet the owners of the house, and they have style. They look like ancient vampires that have been living there. And they don't seem too pleased to have visitors, but luckily Judy diffuses the situation.
All right, come on up. Come up and get warm. What's the matter? Afraid of the dark? No, afraid of what's in the dark.
Wise words.
She's always daydreaming, seeing things. You have an active imagination, eh? Oh, that's good. Then you come to the right house. Oh, that you have.
Oh, they don't seem so bad. Appearances, you know.
Me. Wow. I get a hot meal inside you, and then I'll give you a tour of the house. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Judy's fascinated by the man's office, and everything just seems like it's turning around, but then you see, and no, things are not going to be okay. And we keep hearing the little small voices in the background and the little giggles, and it's just...
What's the matter, my dear?
Judy seems to be the only one that hears these.
Just my imagination.
People do frighten of the forests and the violent storms. But we like them, don't we, my dear? Oh, yes. This can be the most exciting place to live.
I, too, would love to be living in that nice haunted house in the middle of nowhere. But I like weird things. But we now know the names of the homeowners, Gabriel and Hillary.
We are used to these storms. They're almost magical. They seem to go on and off. It's like one long night. Exactly, my dear. The longest night in the world. The weather brings out creativity. It helps me in my work. What kind of work is that? Witchcraft? Close to it. I'm a doll maker.
Gabriel is a doll maker, a toy maker, and they're not scary vampires. And obviously they have a soft spot for Judy and her very childlike imagination.
Judy, tell me one thing I've noticed about you. You don't have a doll. A little girl without a doll is somehow incomplete. I had Teddy when I left her, but the clumsy little dear dropped him in the forest. I can't replace Teddy, but I can make sure you have some company whilst you're here. Very dear friend of mine. I like him. Say hello to Mr. Punch. Hello, Mr. Punch.
Gabriel gives Judy a doll, Mr. Punch, a horribly scary looking clown, or jester. And she immediately becomes enamored with him. Okay, remember those divas from the beginning? They also decide to help themselves into their home.
Hi. Oh, please excuse us. My name is Ralph. Ralph Morris. These girls, they were just hitchhiking in, so I picked them up. Pick this up. Now I got some talent, huh, Ralph?
Ralph, other than Judy, you'll find out very soon, is the one other person that has a very pure heart. I really forgot what happens to him in this movie, but I'm really rooting for him. And you'll see why later. The girls' names are Isabel and Enid.
It was raining, and the way you guys are dressed, I just thought the way we dressed. Come and sit over here.
And obviously they have terrible manners.
Oh, gee, I was here punched off since I was a kid. You like toys? Oh, you like to play around. Oh, yes. I mean, no.
Terrible
I
manners
I liked dolls when I was a kid. Of course, I'm not little anymore.
Boundaries. This is why I like Ralph. He has a very childlike innocence about him. And he's super kind to Judy.
Well, you're all welcome to stay the night until the storm settles down. Why don't you show our guests to their rooms, Gabriel?
Right. Let's get you people settled in.
So Gabriel helps everyone to their rooms to stay for the night. And we find out very quickly that the girls we met earlier do not have the best intentions with Ralph. They plan on stealing his wallet and car keys and getting out of there.
Is that what the elves live? Who? The elves? No, Judy, that's just a story. Then where are the fairies? Well, maybe there are a few hiding in my bookshelf. Shall we see?
And Gabriel shows Ralph and Judy his workshop where he makes all his toys. And Ralph is just as fascinated as Judy is.
You still like toys, do you? Oh, yes, but it's too bad we have to outgrow them, right? No one says you have to. My daddy says you do. Daddies can be wrong sometimes, darling. They're only human. My father taught me everything I know. Funny, I was just thinking about my dad. He used to tell us stories about how toys woke up after we were asleep. They'd start to wander all over the house.
So cut back to our 80s divas here, and we just see more of how terrible people they are. They aren't the kindest to Hillary here. Even though she's trying to be a wonderful host to them, they are just focused on one thing. And on top of wanting to get away with Ralph's vehicle and money, now they are also looking to steal their antiques.
Well, I'm certain that people with an appreciation for objects that were made with loving care. Yeah, but are they antiques? Antiques? You know, valuable old Did you hear what she said? Yeah. We can play the radio for a while. No, about the antiques. Well, what about them? Well, this place is loaded with them.
These girls are terrible.
They've old jewelry and stuff stashed somewhere.
So Judy's finally showed to her room, and Ralph's gonna be shown to his room soon. So Isabel sneaks out of her room to steal whatever valuables she can find. And she's not alone. We can hear these little giggles in the background, and she's obviously being watched. Okay, so Judy and Mr. Punch decide they are thirsty and would like to go find something to drink. The dolls obviously don't like her helping herself to whatever she wants to. And we have our first victim. On her way to get herself a drink, Judy runs into Isabel asking for help. Judy goes to tell Rosemary and her father what happened with the dolls, but of course they don't believe her because it's just her overactive imagination.
They dragged her away. Drag who away? The girl? One of the girls Ralph brought with him? Give me a break. I knew there was something weird about this place. The old man is probably...
And of course they blame Gabriel.
All right. Tell me what happened, Judy. I got up to get a glass of water with punch. Wait. You wanted water and punch? I saw a girl get dragged off into a room by an elf. An elf? Look, I know you don't enjoy spending your summers with me. I don't like it either. But I'm sick of you lying all the time, okay? I don't want to hear it anymore. No more fairies, elves, princesses. ghosts, goblins, talking trees. I'm sick of it all, okay? I don't want to hear any more stories for the rest of the summer. Now get out of here. Go to bed.
So Ralph has his own little clown companion of his own, and he's trying to reason with it.
Feel free to have an imaginary cookie anytime you'd like. Ah! Judy, you just about gave me a heart
Since
attack.
Judy's not getting much help from her dad and her stepmother, she goes to seek help from Ralph.
Do you believe things they tell you? Okay, let me guess. You got something to tell me, right? One of those girls you brought here with you? She's gone. Gone where? I dragged her into her room. She was screaming and kicking and... Who did? Who dragged her away? The elves. Well, we'll just check it out in the morning. But suppose there isn't a morning. Suppose this is the longest night in the whole world. Remember what Mr. Gabriel said about the storm? Yes, but he was just being poetic. But suppose the elves get more people during the storm. Suppose they're satisfied with only one.
Ralph tries to calm down Judy and use some pretty solid reasoning to explain it all, but then he sees the red fluid on Judy's slippers and takes her pleas a little more seriously. So off they go to investigate.
It was around here. You're not sure? Well, you want me. I'm 7 years old.
Gotta love how self-aware Judy is. Judy gets distracted and branches off. Ralph is alone now and he's hearing the little noises. So they follow the trail to this attic and they go investigate.
Looks like it hasn't been used in years. Thank God. Well, yeah, look. Oh, are you okay?
Ralph and Judy decide they're gonna go tell the grown-ups because they'll believe Ralph because he's a grown-up. So they go tell Judy's parents and Enid comes out and nobody is believing what's going on. Things just get really sticky for Ralph. Like I said, I'm really rooting for Ralph here, but they are thinking all the wrong things about him.
My daughter, pervert. Oh, no, please just listen to me. Look, I don't know what's happened to her. All I know is, I don't know, there's just something really funny going on in this house. It's the little people. Exactly. No, it is no. All I'm suggesting is that we just search the house for the girl. You can't call me. You've got Isabel, haven't you? Please, I didn't. I don't know. You Calvin, I am. See? I told you I got bit by that rat. I didn't see any rats. Just toys. You move away from my daughter, mister. I'm gonna rearrange your face. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Well, why don't you and I just go look for the girl?
And now they are accusing him of hurting Isabel, and I said things are just going really wrong for Ralph, and I'm really rooting for Ralph here to survive. Like I said, I don't know if he does, I don't remember, it's been a long time, but I'm rooting so hard for him because he's the only adult in this scenario that is halfway decent. Judy runs away and all the other adults here are against Ralph. So Judy's dad is frustrated that Judy isn't listening and he decides to take it out on Mr. Punch. Not the best idea.
Oh, Gabriel, thank goodness. Why, Ralph, what's the matter? One of the girls is missing and there's on the living room in the car. Oh, I know. Please don't say anything about it to anybody at all.
Ralph runs into Gabriel and explains the situation to him about how one of the girls has gone missing and there's fluid on the floor, and Gabriel says, please don't tell Hillary, I meant to clean it up, I'm on my way to go clean it up, it's just paint, I was just touching up a couple of the dolls. So Enid decides to go off and look for Isabel. Ralph is in the kitchen cleaning himself up, taking care of that little rat bite he has, and Judy is there, and of course Ralph is worried that she shouldn't be there because it's gonna get him in trouble. Just the things Judy are saying are worrying Ralph about it being the longest night in the world, and what are they gonna do about this?
Talk about. You know, Ralph, deep down inside, you know.
Mr. Punch also has something to say to Ralph. And this is the first time that Ralph is actually for sure seeing these dolls communicate with him. Now we go to Cruella here in her room, and she is getting exactly what the dolls think she deserves. I gotta say, I like these dolls' style of attacking. It's very barbaric and very brutal. In a last ditch to save her life or take control of the situation, Rosemary decides to jump out a window. Okay, so we catch Hillary taking her doll on a stroll through the hallways of the house at night, and did you guys catch that? Does that doll look like a doll version of Hillary? I'm not too sure what the meaning of that is, but I noticed it this time around. I don't think I noticed it the first time I watched it. Enid finds Isabel. She goes up that same staircase to the attic, and Isabel is not in the greatest shape. Isabel is clearly trying to warn Enid to stay away. Save yourself.
Please. The little people. The doll.
This effect that they have here where the dolls are cracked and you can see what's underneath them, I thought that was the coolest thing when I first saw it. I don't know how they achieved this effect back then, but it's super cool. Now, I was kind of hoping that Enid would survive here. I think I know what happens to her, and she really put up a good fight, but I didn't think she was as awful as the other people, like Miss Cruel over there, who maybe got what she deserved. Unfortunately, we have our third casualty, Enid. So David finds his way back to his room after not being able to find Judy, and he's clueless as to what has happened to Rosemary. Judy and Ralph are still on their search out here for the little people who took Isabel away. So they find their way into Gabriel's storage closet where there are multiple dolls. And of course, with Ralph's childlike wonder, he is amazed by the collection of dolls and toys in this storage room. I'd be freaked the heck out. I would not want to be around this many dolls. So Judy tells Ralph that these are the little people she has been talking about this entire time. And Ralph is still trying to make reason of all this. And this is the point where Ralph's eyes are finally open to what's actually going on. And he sees that these dolls actually have life to them and that they've been causing all this havoc. So Ralph doesn't react too kindly to the thought of these dolls being alive. Ralph's reaction irritates the dolls. And after Ralph's brutal outburst towards these dolls, Judy tries to reason with these dolls for them to spare Ralph's life. Like I said, I've been really rooting for Ralph this whole time, and I'm so disappointed he reacted this way. And like I said, I forgot whether he lives or doesn't in this, but I really hope that the dolls listen to Judy and hear her pleas. The mood is tense. What will they decide? Cut back to Judy's dad and Rosemary's room. He still has no idea what's going on. So add that to our list of current survivors right now. Judy, Ralph, and David.
Will mommy kiss daddy and make it all better?
And David finally realizes Rosemary's not okay. And of course he thinks Ralph is responsible for all this. So off he runs to go hunt down Ralph. Cut back to Judy and Ralph in the basement here, and the dolls are trying to decide whether Ralph is truly an adult or just a kid in an adult's body.
I've been trying to figure that out for years.
Oh, and they decide he's truly a kid at heart, and they decide to let them go.
Thank you.
Oh.
Oh, Dad, mate. Your father sounds upset. He looks upset too.
So David finds Ralph and Judy, and yes, he looks upset. Oh, he learned his lesson. And then here comes Mr. Punch to the rescue. Get his revenge for earlier. So David knocks out Ralph and Judy, and Mr. Punch and David are going full out in a brawl. Luckily, some of the dolls help rescue Ralph and Judy. David decides to destroy all the shelves with all the dolls on them. David destroys Mr. Punch. And here come Gabriel and Hillary to see all the mess that David has created.
Witch.
So we find out, I guess, Hillary
A
is
lucky
a witch.
guess.
Gabriel gives David a lecture about how the bitterness some people feel as adults can be turned to love if they surrender to the goodwill of toys. Some people can be saved, but as for David, he has other plans. David is now the new Mr. Punch. It is now morning. The longest night in the world is now over. Judy and Ralph are just waking up, and in comes Gabriel to fill them in that they disappeared after dinner and they couldn't be found. And he thought that maybe they were outside trying to get the car started again, but they weren't. Said that they managed to somehow find their way into his storage closet and made a mess, and they must have had a nice bump in the noggin and they can't remember anything. And he also mentioned that him and Hillary have gotten Ralph's car unstuck. Judy asks where her dad's at, and Gabriel mentions that he left a note, and he has left. He has decided that it is better for Judy to stay behind and be raised in the loving care of her mother. So Ralph asks, what about the girls? What about the two hitchhikers? And Gabriel is, oh yes, it says here also that they have also gone off with David. And before Ralph can ask for proof in the letter, he throws the letter into the fireplace. And Gabriel clarifies that Judy's father has asked that he accompany Judy back to Boston to make sure she gets there safely. And they have left money for a ticket for him. Ralph is eager to get the heck out of there. He does not want to be there any longer than he needs to. And of course Judy wants to say bye to Mr. Punch, but Gabriel says Mr. Punch needs to go to bed, so she gets a quick goodbye in before they take off. And that's where the movie ends. They take off, we get a glimpse of the other adults that were there as dolls now. And as the credits roll, we see that the next victims have arrived. Well, what did you think? If you have a chance to check this movie out, I would. Like I said, it's kind of difficult to get a hold of. I was really hoping to find like a cheap DVD version of this out there, and the cheapest thing I could find was like one DVD that's like $80 off of like Amazon. Ridiculous. But this one for sure is a classic for me. So there's just a charm about old horror movies where the story doesn't even have to be that complicated. It could just be simple, and the special effects and the gore don't even have to be that much. It's just something about the way movies were filmed back then that are very special. So this movie is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. It's my favorite genre. Whenever Halloween came around as a kid, I was really excited for it because I liked how they played horror movies back to back to back on TV. But anyways, hopefully you get to check out the movie for yourself, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you for hanging out with me and watching the movie, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.